installation of the Vance and Hines dresser twin slash round slip-ons. My wife got these for me, and I've been wanting to get some on the new bike, so we're going to show you how to install these and adjust the length so that they're the same length out the back of the bike. Take the saddlebags off, so open it up and twist your little clips. Pull both of those off, set them to the side. Okay, the first thing we got to do is take the muffler clamp loose. We're going to do that before we do the rear part so that the muffler won't drop on us. I do save the mufflers. I'm using a 9/16 to get that off. And I'm just going to take it all apart. We will not reuse these muffler clamps. They do begin to weaken after a while, where it bottoms out and it won't tighten around the flange of the slip-on or the muffler, and then it'll end up coming loose and your muffler will wobble around. So the new ones come with new muffler clamps, so be sure to use those. Next thing, we got the muffler clamp off. We're going to loosen these two bolts. These are a 1/2 inch. Actually, we're going to take them off. I'm going to take the first one off, the front one completely off. Now these you will have to reuse. You don't get new ones when you get your slip-ons. Make sure you support the rear of this when you start to take the back one off, so it doesn't drop too hard on you. And now we're ready to take the muffler off the bike. Reach under there to your muffler clamp. Make sure it's good and loose so that you can move it with your hands. And I try to slide it off towards the front where the pipe to release the pressure on the muffler. You just kind of work it off real slow. You can see my space here is beginning to get wider. There you go. And we've got the old stock muffler off. Okay, just real quick, we're just taking the other side off as well right now. It's the same process as doing the first one. I didn't want to do a big long video on that. Okay, when you get all these, everything unpackaged and get ready to put your new slip-ons on, you got to be aware there's an indentation in every one of these slip-ons or mufflers. So they're only going to go on one side. The indentation is to clear the axle nut. And if you put the slip-on on the wrong side, it won't fit. So just match those up. The indentation will be, when you put your mounting bracket here, your indentation will face towards the inside on both sides. That way you know you have it on correctly. Okay, one of the reasons people put slip-ons on their bikes is they want more sound. I get that, loud pipes save lives. But one good thing about slip-ons is most of them, unless they're like a totally open pipe, without any kind of baffles or fiberglass or anything in there, is that you don't have to remap your ECM. You can just put them on, and the computer will compensate for a little bit of variance in back pressure from the slip-ons, as long as it's not too extreme. If you go open pipes or something like that, then you might as well just go a full stage 1 at that point and get the bike remapped. So anyway, this is a look down the stock pipe. You can see how closed off it is. Now I want to show you what the Vance and Hines one looks like.
Holy crap!
So there you go. You can see the opening there, and that'll give you some more sound using these. Okay, so here's the new muffler clamps that come with it. Make sure you use those. I've had experiences in the past where people keep reusing muffler clamps. What happens eventually, it weakens to where it won't tighten around the muffler properly, and your muffler will come loose. So yeah, it's just a good practice to change these every time you're going to change mufflers, which shouldn't be very often. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to stick it on there like that. And you're going to take your slip-on. These are your bracket mounts for the back. Turn this so that you'll have clearance on the decorative guard. And you work on slipping it on. There we go. I had to turn it a little bit. So once you get it kind of on there, it's on right now. It's loose. Just hold up the back. And you can get one of, lock washer came off. Get one of your nuts or your bolts, and that'll hold it into place. And we'll take the second one back here, and we'll get it on. And at this point, you can tighten these. That way, you're done with this part of it, and you'll have it ready for adjustment. Because once we get the other side on, before we tighten the muffler clamp, you're going to want to slide these, as you can see, back and forth so that you have the same distance out from the back of the bike. Okay, now we do the other side the same way. Just slip it on, leave it loose at the front for now, and put your bolts on in the rear. And we're going to tighten these up as well in preparation to adjust them. Once you get your slip-ons on, one of the problems you might have, like I've got, is my heat shield is too close and it's actually digging into the slip-on, so you may have to loosen the heat shields and adjust them on both sides. So you just get under there and loosen the bands, and then you can move it around. See, I can move it around now and adjust it after I get my slip-ons adjusted to where they need to be. Okay, once you get the slip-ons on and you loosen the heat shield like I showed you, this side here, because of the way the exhaust is, I can't really move it, so I went ahead and tightened it up, and I'll adjust the other side according to this one. So if you just come off the this rubber piece here that holds it into the saddlebag mount and just measure, I'm sitting at 1.25 inches from the outside of that rubber saddlebag mount. So we'll go over to the other one. And this one here is at 1 1/8 inches, so it actually needs to come out. So you can just kind of wiggle it a little bit and bring it out. That's too far. There we go. That's 1.25 inches. And that way both sides are the same distance out at the back of the bike. Okay, now before you tighten your muffler clamp, one of the things you want to be sure of is that you position it properly where it's going to clamp down onto your exhaust pipe. The slip-ons have a notch in them on both sides, and that allows the slip-on to clamp down onto your exhaust pipe. But if you have your clamp too far up, it won't take advantage of those cuts, and it won't be able to clamp down and seal properly. And it also will allow this to begin spinning later on when if it comes loose. Well, I mean, it's going to come, if it comes loose, you got bigger problems than that. But if you come up here, and it's going to be kind of hard to see, but there's the edge of my my muffler. There's the clamp. You're going to want to bring this all the way to that front edge like that. That way it can take advantage of the notches and fully clamp down onto that exhaust pipe. Now, read your instruction manuals. Different pipes have different torque specifications. The Vance and Hines dresser twin slash round slip-ons, it's a crazy name to have to say, is 40 to 45 psi. So I'm going to set my torque wrench to probably about 42 psi and torque it with that. Kind of feel back in the back as you turn it so it doesn't slide off the position you have it on the slip-on. And you're going to tighten it up until you get your right torque specification. There it is, 42 psi, and then do the other side the same way. Okay, so if you adjusted your heat shield, whether regardless of what side you had to adjust it on, don't forget to tighten it back up. Okay, now before you ever do anything, I mean, even put the saddlebags on, because you're going to want to get around there, behind it, and the saddlebags will cover that, is I use Windex, but you need to use some sort of cleaner, not abrasive, obviously, because you want to get all your fingerprints off. If you don't get those fingerprints off, and you start this bike up, and that slip-on gets hot, it's going to burnish those fingerprints or any oil into the break-in of the slip-ons, and you'll see them forever. You won't be able to get them off at that point. So I just use Windex to get the, the oils off. Any kind of oils, grime, fingerprints, whatever. And then I'm gonna use chrome polish to give us some protection after it's already cleaned. Okay, now I'm gonna use chrome polish on them after I use the Windex. I'm just using Turtle Wax chrome polish. Be sure and change your towel so that your Windex doesn't dilute the chrome polish. Make sure you get all the way around it, at the bottom, everywhere. And then just let it sit for a little while. It'll kind of harden, and then you can wipe it off after it hardens. Okay, after you get all the chrome polish done, all the cleaning done, go ahead and reinstall your saddlebags. And just so you know, if you got those notifications about saddlebag recalls, hopefully you got it done. They replaced this clip in here because it was breaking, and people were losing their saddlebags going down the road. There you go. Snaps in, and put your other one on after that. Okay, so that's the installation of the Vance and Hines dresser twin / round slip-ons. It's hard to say. So also, if you can, subscribe to my channel. You'll get notifications of new videos as we put them out. And also visit rideitwrenchit.com for blog articles. So hope that helps, and ride strong, wrench proud.